What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? It has been a while. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope everything is going well for you guys. Thank you to everyone who checked in on me after my surgery. I'm healing up properly. Everything's going pretty good. Um, yeah. So today I want to start off this way. For those of you who are watching the video or watching the live and everything, I'm just gonna introduce myself for those who may not know me. My name is Tim. Pretty much the reason why I started this little series or this little podcast is just to help the kids growing up that may not have a positive role model in their life or a positive father figure in their life. When I grew up, growing up, my dad passed when I was about 7 or 8. So a lot of the things that I had to learn about when it comes to being a man, I kind of had to either learn on my own or try to figure it out along the way, which kind of led me to a lot of failures and a lot of mistakes growing up. So I do this series just to help those kids that are growing up like me, so they can try to use me as a tool, as a stepping stool, and kind of learn from it that way rather than making the same mistakes that I made growing up. So one of the things that I'm going to be talking about today is called intentionality, and it's just the act of being intentional. So before I even get started with going down the line with that, I just wanted to define what it means to be intentional. Um, it's a very simple definition, and when you look it up, intentional just means done on purpose or being deliberate. So I'll break that down a little bit even more. What does it mean to be deliberate? Deliberate means that you're doing it consciously. So pretty much whatever it is that you're doing it consciously, and you're doing it because you want to do it, and that is what you're aligning yourself with. So when it comes to being intentional, there's different ways that you can look at being intentional or intentionality. It doesn't just have to be with sports. It doesn't just have to be, a relationship or anything. You can be intentional in your finances. You can be intentional in your marriage, in your studies in school for the younger kids. You can be intentional in just being a good brother, a good sister, being a good child for your parents, not causing too much trouble. If they ask you to clean up the room, just be intentional cleaning up the room. Let's say every Friday, every Tuesday, or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna go clean up my room like my parents asked. Um, be intentional with your health, being intentional with your future, being intentional mentally. And what I mean by that is just monitoring what it is that you let into your mind and monitoring what it is that you let into your life. I've learned the hard way that um, social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and things like that, they're great tools for success, but they could also be great tools in what it is that you're allowing yourself to see. So a lot of the times, you could get thrown off track, or you could get thrown off your purpose, or you get just thrown off of whatever it is that you want to do, just by following the wrong group of pages or the wrong group of crowds and the wrong group of friends and things like that. And that's another thing, is being intentional in the friendships that you make. Um, and I always try to be transparent. So when I say being intentional in a friendship that you make, it's if your plan is to grow up, let's say if you want to be a professional basketball player, or if you want to be a professional, or you want to be great in whatever it is that you want to do, you don't have a group of friends that aren't going to push you or excel you to that level, or somebody who's not aspiring to go to that next level along there with you. So let's say for me, if I want to be financially free, right? That's what me and my wife's goal is coming up, is that we want to be financially free. We're going to work hard to try to get out of this debt, to take down our debt, and to just be able to have a life where we have freedom from any bills and things like that. So if that is our goal, if that's our plan, and we want to be intentional in doing that, that means we can't hang around people that are always going to be spending money. That means we can't hang around people that are always going to say, "Hey, let's go here," or "Hey, let's go do that." Hey, and it was a learning lesson for the in the most part, for us, at least starting off. Taking a lot of trips, for me, spending a lot of money on shoes, spending a lot of money on games, going out to eat all the time and things like that. So if we want to be intentional, what it is that we say we want to be intentional is, and we need to align ourselves with the people that are going to help propel us to that goal. Um, I think one of the biggest things when it comes to being intentional is writing it down, making a vision so you can see exactly what it is that you want to do. So for me, our pastor has us create a goal list every year, and that helps keep us intentional. But you could go a little bit further than that. Write down specifically what it is that you want. Write down specifically. You can break it up to a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and a 10 year plan. And I actually did one of those. So pretty much what it is what do you see yourself having in 1 year? What is it that you see yourself wanting in 1 year? You go from there. All right, I can see myself attaining this, and I can see myself getting there and getting to this in 1 year. So from 1 year, all right, let's go to a 3 year. Or even if you don't want to do a 3 year, let's do a 2 year. What can I see myself doing or having in a 2 year plan? You go from there, you make that plan, and you could go to a 3 year, you could do a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or you could do a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. That's what I did. And you just write it down and say what it is that I want at my 1 year, what is it that I want at my 5 year, and what is it that I want at my 10 year or my 3 year plan. And you just make your actions reflect what it is that you wrote down on that sheet of paper. So if one of my plans was to be and I would say not to be vague, when you're talking about your life and when you're talking about your future, don't be vague. Don't just put I want to be a great father. Well, what does being a great father look like? What does that look like to you? And be intentional in writing that down. So if I say I want to be a great father in 5 years, how am I going to get to that point of being a great father? Am I going to be active in my kids' life? Am I going to be active in speaking encouraging words to them? Am I going to be pushing them and teaching them things that I was never shown growing up? You have to have a plan and you have to be methodical on what it is that you want. So write down the vision, write down your plan, and then make sure you tell your actions to get to that plan, to get to that vision. And you just have to ask yourself a lot of questions to be able to figure out what it is that you want to do in your life and how you want to get there. So some of the questions and some of the things that I ask myself is what are my goals in life? So by figuring out what are my goals and what it is that I want to do in my life, then that's going to help keep me on the right track and keep me intentional. The whole purpose of the writing down a plan or writing down a vision isn't just to write it down and say, hey, I'm gonna just push it aside and never look at it. When you write down the vision and when you write down your plan, make sure that you take it out and put it somewhere where you can see it daily, and make sure that you're actually reading it and read it out loud so it can actually stick. What I learned and what I've seen is that the more that you read something out loud and the more that you talk about something, the more that you're striving to be something, your life kind of reflects around that, and you're going to attract the same energy that it is that you want. So if I'm not doing anything with my life and I'm saying, oh, I don't feel like doing this, or oh, I'm gonna be lazy, or oh, I'm gonna do this, your life is going to start reflecting around that and start attracting that energy that you're speaking out and that you're manifesting. So if you're manifesting energy of, growth and taking it up to a next level and going higher, your life is going to start reflecting that. So just be careful on what it is that you're speaking into your life, and just be intentional of what it is that you're speaking into your life. Um, I would also say when it comes to being intentional, also make sure that you have phrases, speak life over yourself, like I was just talking about. That's one of the biggest things that I think kind of helped me, because it's so easy to beat down on yourself, and when the whole world is already beating down on yourself, or you got friends and family who are already talking about you, may say you're not going to amount to anything, or that you're not going to do anything with your life or growing up. That's already kind of rough. So make sure that you always bat for yourself, and make sure that you always are talking life and speaking life into yourself. If you make a mistake, you just get back up and you see where you can go and how you can learn from that mistake. But don't ever beat down on yourself, and don't ever talk about yourself. Always make sure that you always believe in yourself, and always make sure that you're always counting on yourself, and that you always speak life into yourself, because ultimately, if nobody else has your back, you have to have your own back. But not only that, but the value that you put into yourself and the value that you speak over yourself is going to be the same value that's going to be reflected in everyone else that you talk to. So if I don't believe in myself and I think of myself as a failure, and I walk around with my head held down and look like a failure, what am I going to expect everybody else to believe? If they see me as a failure, then of course that's because I see myself as a failure. So how can you change your actions, and how can you be an intentional, and just walking with confidence and walking with your head held high? So yeah, some of the questions that I have for you guys today is, what are your goals in life? What are your dreams? What are your priorities? What fills you? And what gives you purpose in life? I think if you can answer those questions, then that would help you in becoming and tailoring your life to where you could be more intentional on whatever it is that you want to do. And I don't expect you to answer those questions right then and there. It's a little bit of tough, but I do expect you to do a little bit of soul searching and figuring out what it is that you want to be, and figuring out who it is that you want to be, and make a plan for your life and then work towards that. And, always make sure you have something that could be measurable. When you write down your goals, make sure it's not something that's going to be so hard to obtain, because the whole purpose of making goals and the whole purpose of pushing yourself towards that is that you want to be able to make something that's measurable to where you could check off. Because when you're able to check off your goals, when you're able to check off the things that it is that you're doing, it helps push you to that next level. It helps you to give momentum and keep going and keep striving for the next goal, keep striving for the next part of your life. And then I have a quote for Nelson Mandela. Vision without action is just a dream. Action without a vision just passes the time. And vision with action can change the world. So be intentional, y'all. Make sure you write down your goals. Make sure you put it in a place where you can see it every day. And every day read those goals out loud and tailor your actions toward what it is that you want. So if you want to be the best sports player, if you want to be the best basketball player, football player, like everybody else, what is it that you're going to be doing differently in order to get to that goal, in order to get to that dream? And how can you be intentional in that? How can you be delivering in that every single day? You know, you have to be thinking about it every single day. You have to achieve a level every single day to get to where it is that you want to be in life. um yeah, I hope this was a beneficial lesson for you guys today. Hope it was a beneficial word. um if you have anybody you can share this video to, just make sure you share it, hit the like button, subscribe, and I appreciate all of you guys, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I hope you guys have a great week. Talk to you guys later.